landed it, son. Oh no. Oh no. Hey guys, this is TheRadiantDehd, and welcome to the Beginner's Guide. So I'm actually really excited for this. I have watched a playthrough of this, but it was probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I've forgotten most of the game, but I remember the emotional impact it had on me. And I really do want to play it again, for both my sake and your guys' sake. Alright, so this game is made by the creator of the Stanley Parable.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide.
You're welcome.
My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable.
There you go.
And while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator.
Oh, that's great.
I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and
cool.
He never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game.
I wonder how much
As each
spam
game
he
is
got from
loading,
putting his
I'll show
email
you the
in.
date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Sweet. Yeah, I wonder how much spam he got for it just putting his email in there, if it even is an actual working email.
Warning. Whisper machine active. Shift destruction imminent.
Whisper machine.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Should I go the colorful route? No. Move. Fine. Go this way. That's actually pretty cool looking. Alright.
Security call.
I like the corners for whatever reason.
Life form inbound.
I can't walk this way?
It kind of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance,
there's
you have
glass.
this gun, which you'd think would indicate
Can't
that
break.
there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the
There we
gun
go.
when you run out of bullets.
What the
But
heck?
ultimately, we don't really know.
Okay.
Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for
can't
what
reload?
they are,
Oh.
rather than for what they're not.
Okay.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
Is that where I need to go? Probably.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Oh my god. That's so cool looking. Alright. Where am I going? Over here. Oh no, a maze.
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Dang it, I was gonna figure that out, man. Alright.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Okay. Oh, this.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives,
Are you saying I'm hot?
would you do it? Could you give yourself...
A big enough heat signature to turn this off? So I'm hot apparently. Oh,
Let me
look,
pause here
I think
for a
I'm dead.
second. What you just
Oh, wait.
experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Okay. Whee! Look, Mom, I can fly!
I'm a bird.
The beam causes you to start
Crazy how
floating.
beautiful that is.
And
Even
this
though you
is an
can see the
important
scenes
moment
in the
for him.
box.
Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about
Ooh.
it. Like how small it makes you feel in
Ooh,
the
let's see
face
if I
of
can
this
figure out the maze.
larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the
Oh, I was
afterlife,
nowhere
a
close,
peaceful
even
place,
though that's actually pretty
juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Alright. Bye-bye, maze. Oh, it's this one. Past was behind
In this
her.
game, you can only walk backwards.
Okay. Oh.
So it's a short
the
and
future
relatively
cannot be
minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more
Ooh.
focused, more complete.
Okay.
Coda's trying to give it a unique voice
Why
rather
does the
than
future
simply
keep
basing it on a
changing?
pre-existing trope.
Should I go over there? When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. We going the right way? Yeah. Can't go forward yet, right? Awesome. Ooh, pretty. Oh. But the future is always behind her. How will she find the strength to confront it? Did that just change on me?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't
That's
need
cool.
anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
I can walk forward again, right? This feels sketchy. You are now entering. Don't you dare hop out, chupacabras. I'm pretty sure this
And that's
doesn't
it.
actually have anything to it.
Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
I like the crickets in the background, though.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Nonsense in nearly every direction.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these
this
early
one.
games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Run, 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 run. Nope. It's gonna do this, isn't it? Gosh
Once
dang
you've
it.
been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
What if I don't want to hit enter? What if I want to see if I can make it? So close. Okay, fine. You win. You walk around talking to people from talking people down from pursuing their hopes and dreams. The game is nothing but giant blocks of text explaining what's
A
happening.
room that's warm.
Normal game where you have to
nice
scream into a mic every
and
15
filled with
seconds
little ideas
to
for
keep playing.
games.
That's awesome. I want to make that one. Play as a pair of floating eyes emitting footstep noises.
Coda would often
key
tell
in
me that
one
he
game
didn't
unlocks
mind
a
if
door in a
people thought of
completely
him
separate
as
game.
cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Series of lavish manuals come with the game giving you incorrect instructions on how to play. Oh dang it, I wanted to read through all those. Gosh dang it. But I have to watch it back in editing and see how many I can catch. That's super cool though. I don't remember this one. I don't know what one this was. And so as it gets near, oh, is this
Well, this
just
is
a
new
puzzle
for
thing?
Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Oh yeah. I have to go. Whoop. Lock myself in. Beautiful.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon.
What are the
We're gonna
dots
see it a lot.
for though? 'Cause I don't think he ever explained those, but they're around everywhere. So just a warning, I probably will end up crying at the end of this.
So that seems to be it, right?
I have the last
You walk down a
times.
corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
This is one of the few that makes me question if Coda's
How
actually
about
real or
that?
not. Because
There was
this
more
is
to it than we had any way of knowing.
way more than
I actually find it
you
funny that this game comes after
think.
the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world.
Though the interior is
Either
not
way,
that dull.
I think that the point is the same. Is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
To see something. Back to this game. You're now exiting.
Aha! So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
March 2009. What was that? 8 years ago? A little bit longer than that. Ooh.
let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do.
Yep.
So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
The streetwise fool.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Oh. Can I use the toilet?
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of
heck?
creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
So I can actually open doors in this. I'm not going to go down there yet. These are some nice paintings, man. I don't know what it is about this, but this really does feel like a Gmod map. I guess we might as well go down. Boop. Wait, what's over there? No. Can I even get over there? Okay. What's in... nothing? Doesn't open? Okay. Alright, let's go down then. Ooh, this looks so fun. I actually wonder if I take any fall damage. Oh, jeez. Alright. Whee! Has like a Mirror's Edge feel to it. Doink, doink, doink. Oh, oh. Landed it, son. Oh, oh no. Oh no. Oh, okay. No fall damage. Beautiful. Oh, there's glass in the middle. What are you? You just a light? I don't think I can get to you. Alright. What if I don't want to go in this one? Alright. Oh. Elevator. Ooh. Do I have to go in there? Alright, I can't go either way. Okay.
This prison,
Yay,
funny enough,
prison.
in Coda's original design, the door stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Was there anything after
This is something that he and I used to argue about a
Ooh.
lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Oh, this is glass. Oh, that's... Love the particle effects on that glass. So cool looking. Is that a swing? Or a light? I think it's another light. Alright. Is there anything back here? Nope. Alright, I don't think I'm gonna miss much if I don't explore much, but... And the dots reappear. almost looks like a face with that.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Oh, wait.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
This is a cool room. Ooh, it's getting dark. Oh, hi. I just got a little furnace. Can I trunk with that at all? Can I open this? Alright. Hi. You there? Did you come
Here,
up from
Coda
above?
begins
What was
using a
there?
kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Yes, there's a world stamped with whiteness. Yes, there's an enormous prison to spend hours in. Even though technically it's only an hour, and that's only if you actually wait the whole time. There are these colored bricks. A world stamped with whiteness. That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and a switch? Yes. Now please tell us how you solved it. I don't remember how I solved it. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. I didn't solve it. Someone let me in. Trust me, you don't want to go over there. Sure, I don't remember. Must think harder, please. Try hard to remember. It's so important that we get out of here. We must escape this prison. Can you think harder? There must be something more. Please tell us how to reach the end. I'd tell you if it'd let me, but not sure if I should trust you guys. But I mean, the end of the world is better than nothing, right? Oh, hi. Same room. How did you get here? Was a puzzle yet? Yes. Do you want to know how to solve it? No. We actually find the blank space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? Why would I care about the space? Actually, now that you mention it, I remember it feeling strange as I passed through it. I want to recall a space. Let's go 2. Alrighties. Through here. Noise.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Okay. Ooh, pretty.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that
They
headspace
have
for
a
so long.
purpose.
Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something.
Or you
He
do.
wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
What was next? April 2009. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Cool. Ooh, that's cool. Ooh, what are you? Do I have to click on you? Nice room. Not. Hey, that's actually a pretty cool room. So you shut up. The lights are cool too.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this
How do you
game is
beat this
not
game?
connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're gonna see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played. But it's ironic,
Hey,
isn't
I
it,
can type
that
here.
in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Just saw a flying penguin, let me tell you, is the most majestic thing I've ever seen. I don't feel like living because nothing will ever be as majestic as that. I never want to see again if nothing will ever be that beautiful again. I'm crying now and planning to my I thought I must go do that. What? Okay. No. Okay. House of wood and grass and concrete. It's a building in a game. Balls. Wow, that's very well thought out. I can whoa. It's guaranteed. I can assure you, guaranteed, there's an acorn hair in this place, and the sailors are looking for it. What sailors? Can I actually get down there? Holy crap! Just looking for someone to talk with. Yeah, good luck. I refuse to believe. Don't stop believing. Need to go to the freaking bathroom. You go, man. Recognize me, please. You have been recognized by Senpai. Okay. There's nothing here. Go back. Don't listen to that guy. Ooh. A free t-shirt. I'll take a free t-shirt. Mixed game includes door. Cannot open door. Open sesame. Yeah, you can't open it. Okay. Door how open. A game where you leave notes and suddenly everyone's a poet. I am compelled. By what? Proceeding further will result in misery. Eh, I'll take some misery, you know. Take my hand, let's jump together, yeah! No? Okay. Sorry that I'm reading all of these guys. I might cut a lot of it out, but I actually do want to read all these. It's interesting. What is that painting? That is an interesting painting. Does not matter if you ever get over there. He don't talk about me that way. Okay, fine. I won't. Isn't going anywhere. Next time I will do better. Need someone to talk to. Is this a note? Yes, it is. Don't listen to the other notes. Too late. I'm not safe. Someone forcing you to play this game? I learned you cannot fall off. Yes, I know that. Ethical. Holy crap. So a person walking down there now won't come back? I'm calling bullcrap on that. I don't think anyone is walking down there. Devil Tower Star. Well done, all of you. Painting. What does it mean? Such a cool painting. I want a painting that size in my house. Jeez. I mean, I need a house big enough, but whoever made this has issues. Coda, you want to talk? Hey guys, how's it going? Help, I'm trying to speak. Looks mess up. It does look a little bit messy close up. That's cool though. If I'm up here, it just looks like dots. Well, yeah, it is just dots. But it's cool anyway. Cabbage shapes our nation. Don't know what nation that is, but spoilers, it doesn't mean anything. Not surprised. Stop pretending you're other people. Is that him talking to himself? Who are all of you? It's about how this game's pretentious and you all suck. Devil Tower Star. That's a reference to something, I don't know it, so maybe I'll feel real someday. Just hold in there, Pinocchio. Who's himself the most horrible creature you can imagine. We're playing the deepest sleep here. Well, I'm here now. Yeah, we're all here. Must be a reason for it, though. It's a terrible secret. He kept it well. I beat the game. Did you?
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
I wish there were notes in the real world. That would be pretty cool. Become one with this spiraling nonsense. This is so cool looking, though. The whispers are weird, though.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Oh, what did this one say?
And because there's
Easy,
this
guys.
dark
Look.
area between the doors,
Ooh.
a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
It's cool in here. I like the smoke effect. The notes in here. There's one more note. What the heck? How do you beat mouse? Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts my head. Are you there? Please say something. I can be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty talking? Speak, 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 speak. May to June 2009. Oh, the typewriters hurt my head. Oh, this is glass. Oh, let's... Love the particle effects on that glass.